Do you think this is the team that just personally has the most fun?
Yeah, probably. We're probably one of the teams that has the most fun playing the game, actually. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's because we're younger than most teams or we're less experienced, I guess, maybe.
Not jaded yet?
Yeah, I mean, but we can go down like 7-0 in the first inning, and somehow you look up in the ninth and it's 7-7, or we're up 8-7, and it's like, who else is doing this?
Welcome back, friends. Today I drove all the way down to Milwaukee again to chat with a professional baseball player for the first time ever. Our guest today is a relief pitcher for the Milwaukee Brewers who threw a strikeout just yesterday against the Cubs on the way to a 4-1 victory. Welcome to the show, Grant Anderson.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, thank you for having me. This is a sweet little place. You said this was an Airbnb that you figured out after after the Brewers called you and said you got to get here ASAP.
Yeah.
How quickly did you find this place?
Really, my wife does all that, so she pretty quick. I mean, I think we were in a hotel for about a day, 2 days, and then she found this place, and we drove over and been here ever since.
How quick was the turnaround from when you got that call? And we will go back earlier, but when you get the call that, hey, you just got traded to the Brewers, are you in Wisconsin like 2 days later?
No. I was in, I got traded in January in the off season, and I was actually, I was going hunting with my brother and my nephew, and both my brothers and my nephew, but my older one and his son would ride with me, and this is in East Texas, and it's kind of running out of service, and I got a phone call on my screen in my truck. It said, the general manager of Texas Rangers calling you. So I pulled over so I wouldn't run out of service, and he was like, hey, you got traded, we just traded you to the Milwaukee Brewers, been a pleasure, and then he was like, they're gonna call you probably within the next hour. So I had to hightail it to the nearest town to where I had actual, actual service. Because even there where I had stopped at, I was kind of like in and out. And we pulled over in a parking lot in Jasper, Texas. And I think Matt Arnold and, general manager of the Brewers and a couple other people gave me a call. Chris Hook, the pitching coach, gave me a call. So then I didn't see them till February in spring training in Arizona. So that was my first time actually laying eyes on them. But they had called me that night and, told me, hey, welcome to the Brewers. You'll be here. We'll see you in a couple weeks in camp. And then camp's about a month long. So then after that month, we started the season here. Or in New York and then here. So
did you still go hunting after that?
Yeah, sure did. Yeah. We're big hunters in my family. Big coon hunters. So I take dogs out at night, and they, run tracks and tree the coons in the tree, and then we go in there and we shoot them out or not, depending on the night or whatever.
Was it kind of bittersweet leaving Texas because you're from Texas? So I assume playing in Texas was kind of the ideal situation prior to moving here, right?
I live in a different part of Texas from the Rangers. Rangers are in North Texas. I'm in Southeast. I'm actually closer to Houston.
Oh,
like
sure.
all my family and friends are Astros fans. So when I got traded from Seattle in the minor leagues to Texas, they were all kind of, I don't want to say disappointed, but they were just like, would have preferred to have been the Astros. But
playing for a rival.
Right.
Yeah.
So Arlington's about 5 hours from my house in Beaumont. So
yeah, I guess you can hop a flight and be down there. And
the flight's quick. Flight's like 45, 50
but I'm just saying
minutes.
from like Milwaukee down to Texas has got to only be 4 hours or something anyways, right?
I think it's 4 hours,
Yeah, so it's not like the travel is drastically different.
No.
Okay, so let's get earlier than that. So I know you grew up playing baseball kind of your whole life, but your dad was a basketball coach. So what is like your earliest memory of baseball specifically? Was it like T-ball when you were 4, or like what is the earliest memory?
I didn't play until me and my twin didn't play until we were old enough for kid pitch. So we didn't play T-ball or coach pitch or machine pitch or.
So what age is that?
8 or 9, 8 I think.
Oh, okay. And you were playing basketball though from when you were little?
Yeah, forever. Really, I mean, we practiced baseball every day. My older brother's about just under 5 years older than us.
Okay.
So my dad kind of realized he kind of took, I guess, more naturally talented at baseball, and we grew up on a little farm, 6-7 acres, and we had, we were in 4-H, FFA, and all that, and he kind of took the front half and turned it into a baseball field, built like a backstop and an infield. I guess he would have had a right field, but like just the way our our house was set up. There's levees all in like Beaumont area because everything used to be rice fields back in the day.
Okay.
And the levee kind of cut off where I guess left field would be at. So it was like you had a diamond right here, and then like all the way to the road you had an outfield that way.
Sure.
And he kind of would have us practice with my older brother in the yard until we were, because he didn't really see the benefit in t-ball or coach pitch. He didn't feel like there was a
the competition wasn't high enough.
Well, there is no competition really. You know what I mean? You just basically parents go out there watch their kids kind of
play around.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's very competitive nature, both my parents, and he just didn't see the I guess learning the game benefit of it at that age because and after I go watch my own nephews and stuff and play their t-ball games, I'm like, yeah, I kind of see what he's saying. It's not really like not much learning, you know. The guy hits the ball and everybody on the field runs after the ball. So
it's just not serious.
He would rather us have learned it, you know, from him, a bit more fundamentally.
Yeah. Did he have a background in baseball at all? Like
none whatsoever. No, he
just figured it out.
No, but I think what my dad is really good at, he's smart, you know, but he's he's a student of the game. You know what I mean? He didn't play, but he was like, well, if they're better at this than basketball, not to say that we're bad. None of us were bad at basketball. I was probably the worst out of the three of us.
6 feet, you're not going to go anywhere in that sport.
Well, that's kind of what his thought process was. He was like kind of looking, I guess, farther down the line. He's like the max probably going to be around 6 foot. He's big, you know, but my mom is 5 foot tall. He's 6'5", my mom's 5 foot. So I guess we kind of almost split the difference. But
sure,
he's like probably not going to get the height they need.
Yeah. Skills
wise in basketball, obviously if your dad's a basketball coach, you're going to have the fundamental skills. But he just figured we had a better chance in baseball. So he's like, hey, I'm going to learn all I can about this. And he did, for the most part, I mean, fundamentals and stuff of the game. He's nailed every single aspect, basically. You know, throw strikes. You know, this is how you field a ground ball. This is how you swing a bat. This is how you block. You know, so he got it right for the most part.
Did you have any other like friends and stuff that were in the? I understand that Texas is so spread out. The neighborhood isn't quite the same as in Milwaukee, where you had 10 friends on the same block or whatever. But did you have other friends that were kind of similar skill level that were all playing with you?
One of my best friends to this day. Yeah, he lives right down the road. We would basically just walk back and forth between houses in the summer. You know,
sure.
Cameron Williams is his name, and he's like family. You know.
Yeah.
And we eventually played on the same team. I mean, I remember one time when it was in middle school, we ended up going to different schools. We transferred from the school where we lived at to go to a different school in Orange, Texas.
Because it was more competitive sports-wise, or why?
No, not at all. It was more competitive sports-wise, but that's not why we went there.
Sure.
My mom was the teacher at the elementary school there, sure. And my dad ended up being the principal, or first assistant principal there at the middle school.
Yeah.
And so they were like, well, if both of us are in the school district, might as well just take them with us. My sister's older. She's 8 years older, so she graduated in 07, so she was already, that's about I guess that would have been around the same time that we transferred to that school. They were like, well, she's graduating.
Sure.
And let's just take the 3 boys with us to West Orange. And
did you like that, or did it feel like not an escape from your parents ever then?
No. No, I had no problem with it, really. I mean, when you're at first, maybe like in elementary school, it was like, dang, I feel like my dad is always here, you know. No, not really, because in the summer, my mom would take us out there. She would do like teach summer school and stuff. Yeah. So we already knew a bunch of the, like one of my best friends now, also to this day, he's in the Navy, but his mom was a teacher and the women's basketball coach there.
Oh, cool.
And then like another one of my classmates, his mom was a computer teacher there. So we already had like friends, and like we would go to my one in the Navy. His name's Josh. His house, he lived right down the road from the elementary school. So like half the time we just walk through the neighborhood, go to his house, go to somebody else's house.
Sure.
You know, wreak havoc or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Well, especially if you don't live in town.
Right.
Then when you are in town, all of a sudden it's like an adventure playland.
Well, yeah. Well, like, and then and like they were so close. Like, we would just tell our mom, hey, we're going to Josh's house, and when she got ready, she would just drive around the neighborhood till she found us. We'd hop in the car and go home.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you're a relief pitcher, which I didn't even realize. Like when you agreed to do this, I was like, dope. I've never had a Brewers player on the show before, so let me look into baseball a little bit. And I was like looking up like how many home runs has he got, and I was like, pitchers don't bat?
Not
is that
anymore.
Like a new,
yeah.
Is that a new
I think
rule
20.
or something?
I I think 2021 was the first year they stopped.
So, when was the last time you hit a home run? It would have been quite a while.
High school?
Back.
Yeah, so a long time ago. I mean, sure. I caught all the way up until college, and then I turned into a pitcher in college, primarily a pitcher in college, and then high school, probably senior year.
What made you want to be a catcher? I feel like that's not the position that's like glorified as a kid. You know what I mean? That's like a kid wanting to be a center, or whatever in football. Like who says they want to do that?
My dad. Both my brothers showed a little more talent pitching wise, and so he's like, well, I need somebody to catch them.
Sure. So
they got a third one. Might as well make him a catcher. And but I loved it. I mean, honestly, if I had to pick which position I like more, it'd probably be catcher. But it's just you're in on every pitch, every play of the game. You have a pretty direct impact on how the game can go as far as like pitch calling and throwing people out and stuff like that. So I mean, I enjoyed it, but you're right. It's probably not one of the positions that most kids wanna play.
Yeah. Is the pitch calling like it shows in the movies where people are just like holding up 1, 2, 3?
It used to be. Now they have we have a thing in our hat.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a catcher has a little deal on his leg that has all the pitches and like location on it. Mm-hmm. It's like a little grid kind of, and it's just a button. So like this one, it'll say fastball on the thing.
Oh, okay.
Instead of it used to be, but with all the sign stealing and stuff like that. I guess that was probably 2022. I think maybe they started doing that. And
has it ever been in game that it just stopped working for any reason?
All the time, yeah. So and then you just go. They have extras, so you go in the dugout and they'll give you another one.
Oh, okay.
They keep them charged. Sometimes they might die like mid at bat or something like that. It just depends.
What happens if it is in the middle at bat? Do you pause then to go get a new one, or
you step off and tell them it died, and they'll grant you time. Sometimes the umpires can be kind of finicky about it, but.
So growing up, you played obviously like your entire childhood. If you had to pick one memory from playing, whether it was like middle school, high school, not in college, before that, what's your favorite baseball memory before that?
That's a tough one, man. There's so many. Man, I had a great time in high school. In my first 2 years, we were terrible. And then we went to the playoffs my junior year. I went to the state championship my senior year and lost. So, I mean... But, man, probably I think we played Carthage in high school in Louisiana, actually. We had to play a tournament. We had to play a series in Louisiana because it was raining in Texas. And, I'm in East Texas, Southeast Texas, and so it's like 30 minutes from Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I had already committed to McNeese State, and we needed a place to play. And I called them and was like, hey... We lost the first game against them, but in Texas it's different. I've learned from other states where before every series the coaches flip a coin for 3-game series or 1 game.
Oh, okay.
And so that year we had me, my brother who's in AAA with the Rangers, and another teammate who's in AA with the Phillies. We're all pitchers, and so we obviously wanted the 3-game because it's like who's gonna beat 3 all-state pitchers in a row. And we won every round. We won the flip every round. Somehow, it was the grace of God, But we lost game 1 in Kilgore, Texas, and then the next 2 were supposed to be at our place. So, and it's raining too bad, but 30 minutes across the border in Louisiana it wasn't. So I called them. They were like, hey, y'all come play. We'll have it ready for you guys. And we ended up winning those 2 games. And then actually probably the next series, we played back in Texas against the number 1 team in the state in Beaumont. They were kind of cocky, I guess, and they were like, we'll play you all 3 games there if you want to play all 3 games there. Wow. Because they were like, there's no way this team's going to beat us, basically. And they beat us the first game. They beat the crap out of us first game. And then we came back, and I think we won like 3-1 the first game, and then the second game I think we won like 5-0 or something like that. And that took us to the state tournament. So that was probably... Just being able to do that, kind of not really, because Orange, Texas is about 30 minutes away from Beaumont. Yeah. 20 minutes away, and but it's more of a home game for us because they're from Houston. They had to drive an hour down.
Sure.
And so just being able to win that, and I guess you take a team from a losing record the first 2 years to the state championship was pretty pretty fun.
Well, and I'm sure if they're looking back on it, they're like, man, they had professional ball players on their team, and we underestimated them.
five professional baseball players on the team.
That's
the
so
three
wild.
of us, and then Jack Dallas, his younger brother Chad Dallas, is in AAA with the Blue Jays. Also, he's a pitcher. And then Peyton Robertson played. One of our infielders played professional baseball for a while. I think he's coaching now, but
wow,
played for like probably 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny just based on where even in the country, because like in Eau Claire where I live, baseball is not a big thing. Like I don't even know if our high school had a team. If they did, I'm somehow not even aware because it just like wasn't a big thing for us. What are the biggest things that you've noticed that are different just with like community and people since moving to Wisconsin? Because you had never really spent any time here until you moved here.
No,
right?
I've never been here till I showed up.
Yeah.
I don't want to like sound like rude, I guess, but people back home seem a lot more friendlier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they hold the door open for you. Like I waved at a guy. Like typically, like back home, if I'm driving down the road and somebody's coming towards me, you just wave.
Yeah, it's just common.
And I did that here when I first got here, and I noticed nobody was waving back at me. So I was like, okay, I probably should stop doing that. I don't know if that's like a, but not to say that people here are rude. It's just like little things like that. You know what I mean? Like where, like I was walking in behind the guy in the gas station down the street here the other day, and like I don't know. I mean, I was wrong for expecting him to hold the door, but he just like basically like walked in and let shut right in front of me. I was like, dang, let me open this. But
do they do that in Houston though? Like in the bigger cities in Texas?
Yeah.
Are they also still just as friendly?
Yeah. For the most part. I mean, obviously you might find some neighborhoods that maybe not as friendly, but if I'm going into the store in Houston, odds are the guy in front of me is going to hold the door for me to come. Especially like if my wife has a stroller, 100% they're going to hold it open.
Yeah. I mean, it's just different, right? I mean, you go to like New York City and it's like the complete extreme. Nobody's talking to you, and if you try to talk to them, they're like, "What are you trying to get from me?" Versus like even in Eau Claire, because it's like 70,000 people, much smaller than what this is. I would say it's closer to what it's like for you back home.
Right.
What I mean?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to say that people are rude or anything like that. It was just like little things like waving or like when you cross the street. Like here, like if I stop at the stop walk and somebody crosses, back home you always wave at the car that stopped.
Yeah, sure.
And just here I did that not too long ago, and I thought the guy was gonna kill me. I think he thought I was saying like, "Oh yeah, you better stop" or whatever. You know what I mean? But I was waving, and I could tell he kind of got like visibly upset that I did that, and I was like, I gotta remember where I'm at. And I wasn't trying to be rude or anything, because it was my wife, and my son.
Yeah, you were trying to say
saying thanks for stopping,
Yeah.
But I think he took it as like I was telling him to stop, which I was like, I didn't mean it like that. Obviously I wish I could have told him that, but But it's just like I guess like the little mannerisms like that, you know what I mean? But like I stopped and talked to a guy. He was walking a coonhound dog up the street the other day, so I stopped in my truck and talked to him for a minute. I mean, he was super friendly, you know what I mean? But it was just like the stuff like that. I feel like sometimes when I'm waving in the truck, people think I'm telling them like, might be giving them a bird or something like that. But that's not the case. But it's just little things like that. Obviously, the accents are kind of funnier up here.
A little bit. Yours is funny, but
but other than in like the neighborhoods, obviously I didn't grow up in a suburban area. You know what I mean? I grew up in a rural area, so what I grew up looks kind of more like when you're driving out of Milwaukee and you see all the fields and stuff and farmland and stuff. Kind of.
Were you tempted to find a place that was more out in the country when you moved here, or is just
no? Because I didn't know nothing about the traffic here.
Yeah.
Houston and Dallas traffic's terrible. So I'm like, if I live all the way out there and there's traffic like that here in Milwaukee, I'm gonna have to leave 2 hours earlier than I want to. Gotta spend less time with my son and my wife. So to me, the closer to the stadium is always better. Obviously, this is this is a very nice area. Don't worry about crime really or anything like that. So, we thought it was safe, so it was perfect spot. It's like maybe 8 minutes from the field, 7 minutes from the field. So
No, I was thinking about going over to the pro shop. I was like, I wonder if they have jerseys of everybody there. And I was trying to Google it, and it was like, no, they only have like 2 players' jerseys. Because when I interviewed Dominic Daphne from the Packers, he was right by Lambeau as well. Because for them, the Packers organization basically just like has an apartment building and then all the players just like live there if they're temporary, or not
Right.
temporary, but you know what I mean. Like
Right.
if they didn't just sign a 5-year, $100 million deal,
Right, yeah.
then they're just like staying at those apartments. So I went over to the field, and at Lambeau, you can just have them print anyone from the roster. They just make it. In
They
15
do that
minutes.
here. That's how my wife got that jersey.
Well, I should have had one made. I'll have to get one made, send it to you, then you can sign it and send it back to me. That'll be the best way. Because I was like, how am I going to get one in time? I don't live there. Okay, so let's talk about college. So you and your twin brother, which, by the way, who's the MVT? Who's most valuable twin?
I mean, I guess at this point it'd be me, but
The more successful one, at least at the moment, right?
at the moment, yeah.
So you guys together, though, got offers to go to college. And, I mean, I guess I don't have a twin. I don't even have a brother. But I would think, at least for myself, when I was turning 18, like the last thing I wanted to do was be around any family. I was like so ready to get out and just do my own thing. But you guys specifically wanted to stay together and keep playing. And you stayed in Texas, right?
Louisiana. So I was about an hour from home.
Yeah.
Across the border. Our dad kind of asked us like, hey, you know, because we had both like offers in opposite directions basically. And my dad was like, hey, you know, if you could stay together, it'd be easier on me and your mom.
Sure.
You know, we wouldn't have to like go one weekend and miss out on the other one the whole weekend, you know. And we did everything together. So to this day, you know, we still obviously we hunt together. You know, we work out together, throw together in the off season. So it really wasn't that hard of a decision, but it was like, you know, like Lamar University offered us in Beaumont, and we were like, well, I'm not staying home. You know, that was the last thing. I don't want to stay home. But McNeese they gave us a better offer than everybody else, basically.
What's a better offer? Because they can't technically offer you money, right? It's just like
scholarship money. Like so.
Sure. So college was just covered.
No, baseball is different. Baseball, it's like for football, basketball, they get like full scholarships.
Yeah.
Baseball, they get like, it might be different now. This one I was playing, they got like 11.7 scholarships to give out for a team of 35. So
okay,
it was like, you know, this guy gets like a 25% scholarship. This guy might get like a 4% or whatever. They offered me and my brother like 60% each. So that was like, at that point, you know, the only full ride that you're given in baseball is usually to a kid that's like going to go first 2 or 3 rounds in the draft, and you trying to convince them like, hey, you come here, we'll pay for all your schooling, housing. You know, I wasn't in that position, but they were like, look, we'll give you both guys this. You know, we're an hour from where you're from back home. Even closer to my high school. My high school was like probably 30 minutes from McNeese State. And so we were like, well, you know what? That's far enough to where like mom and dad ain't gonna be dropping in every day because they gotta work and stuff. Yeah. And if I want to go home, I could drive an hour home, be home in no time. And we would stay together, live together. I don't gotta worry about a new roommate or, you know what I mean? So it was a pretty easy decision, and then I enjoyed my time. Both of us enjoyed our time in Louisiana at McNeese State. So, you know, I still go there in the off season, throw a couple bullpens, talk to the coaching staff and players, stuff like that. So, good relationship there. And a former Brewer, Jace Peterson, was also a McNeese State alumni. Oh, cool. So I've known Jace since I was in college, since I was 18. He would always come back and hit there, and now he's like an instructor, coach with the Brewers. Sure. So
it's funny how that works out. But so did you, when you go to college, because you didn't stay all 4 years, did you?
No, 3.
Yeah.
3,
so when you go, are you like already going into it with the mentality of I just need to like get decent enough grades to keep playing, or were you at that point like maybe I need to focus on my degree so that way I can get that because I don't know if I'm going to go pro? I guess what was the mindset? Even?
No, I was always I mean, obviously you got to pass to stay eligible, so that was always a concern. Like you had to pass, but
you can be taking like 12 credits and have them not be as intensive classes. Versus,
yeah, it just kind of depends though, because like I mean, at least for I don't know if this is every college, but our I forget what the title is, but she was like over all the athletes, like basically sets up their scheduling classes and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
She was like, well, these are the ones that you have to take at this time, like you know what I mean, and then. They would always have us take like, I think you need to pass 12 credit hours a semester to be
a full-time student. Yeah.
To be full-time student to play. So I think they would schedule like 18 hours or something like that. So if you drop 2 classes or something, you're still over 12 and you're still eligible. So I mean, it gets kind of tough. And obviously, if you pass all 18 hours, that's even better. You get your degree faster and all that. But I went in with the thought of like, I'm here to try to get to professional baseball. That's I'm trying to do my best to get drafted. Obviously, smaller school, so not SEC or Big Ten or whatever. But the thing that in baseball is true, no matter where you play at, if you're good enough, they will find you. And so they found me, and a couple other teammates. Actually, I've had quite a few guys get drafted out of McNeese here recently. So
sure. Are there other ways to go pro from baseball? Like, can you go straight from high school into like some kind of minor league and go that?
Well, you get drafted at high school.
Oh, okay.
So you get drafted, and then they'll send you to let's say the Brewers draft you out of high school.
Yeah. You'll
go to Arizona to the spring training facility. You'll sign your contract, and you'll play rookie ball for 2 months, and then they might move you up to low A or high A, and then you start climbing the ladder. So
how, I guess I'm not that familiar with, like, we have a local team, the Eau Claire Express is like our local semi-pro team or whatever, but I didn't really realize until I was watching a Michael Jordan documentary that there's even like levels below. Like Brewers have AAA, AA, whatever.
Right. Yeah, every team has 6 levels. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
6 levels of minor league. So you have rookie ball, low A, high A, AA, AAA, then the majors. But the 6th level is the Dominican rookie ball, and that's for like international.
Sure.
They have an international signing pool, so like they sign kids from like Latin America or Asia.
I was gonna say, and baseball's huge in Japan.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Japan, Korea, Taiwan. They'll send them to the DR league.
Sure. Kind
of to get them more like acclimated with, I guess, the way professional ball runs and stuff.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I guess American style baseball is ran and everything like that. So
where do all these leagues play? I mean, if the Brewers have 5 teams or whatever, they're already playing 162. Is that how many games?
Major League plays 162. AAA plays I think 154, and then like the AA and the A ball, I think they play like 148 or something like that.
They play at the same stadiums and everything, or no?
No, I mean, each team has their own stadium, just like the Brewers have their own place here in Milwaukee, and they go to Minnesota to play the Twins, and they have their own place. Kind of same thing. There's, you have the Texas League, which is AA. You have the Southern League, I think, is also AA.
What's the level below Brewers?
AAA.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what would be the Brewers'
The Nashville
team?
Sound.
Oh,
that's their AAA team.
Oh, okay.
And that's in the International League. So they play all. I mean, AAA is as close to the majors you can get, where you travel. They'll play Indianapolis this series, then they'll go to Jacksonville, Florida, and play a series there. Then they'll fly to, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts and play the AAA team up there. And then they'll fly to Texas and play a team in Texas.
Sure.
So,
and when you were drafted and then immediately playing AA, AAA?
No,
or was it?
No. When you get drafted, you go to rookie ball first, which is
regardless of your age.
Regardless, I mean, typically, sometimes they might send you to A ball right away, which is like a level higher up.
Yeah.
But I got drafted and went to a 3-day mini camp, and then I went to. They don't have this level anymore, but they used to. It was short season A ball.
Okay.
Which was in the Northwest League. So I went to Everett, Washington, played like 2 games, and then I got hurt, had to go back to Arizona, played rookie ball for a couple weeks. Then they sent me to Clinton, Iowa, in low A in the Midwest League, and then the season was over shortly after that. Then I came back to spring training with the Mariners, played. And then the day before the season started, they traded me to the Rangers, and I was with the Rangers from then on till this past offseason.
Yeah, so how long was it from when you drafted till you got to the Rangers? Was that like a 6-month time frame? Was that like a
basically, yeah, I got drafted by Seattle in 18, and then got traded in June of 18. I got drafted and then traded in April of 2019.
What was your first game like where you were actually playing? I guess it would have been for the Rangers then, right? Where you got called up and actually played. What was that first game?
Oh, you're talking about the major leagues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
It was awesome, man. It was
the most pressure you've ever felt?
Honestly, no. For some reason, I felt less pressure on that day. I mean, I guess it was like I'm a low round pick, and you don't know much about baseball, you said, but you typically in baseball, low round picks have like very slim chance of making it to the major leagues.
So the expectations are low.
Pretty much, yeah. It's kind of like the return on investment type. You know what I mean? Like if I spent $8 million investment on this guy in the first round, I'm gonna try everything possibly to make sure that investment pays off for me, because I just spent $8 million on it.
Yeah.
Opposed to the guy I spent $50,000 on. If he makes it, it's great.
Sure.
If he doesn't, I'm not really.
10 others.
I'm not really. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And so I got there, and I was basically like, and I think one thing that helped me is they told me when I got there, Mike Maddox and Bruce Bochy, the pitching coach and manager, were like, hey, just take today as see how the pace of the game goes. You're not going to get in. So just like, kind of absorb it a little bit, see how the pace is a little quicker, and get acclimated with the guys in the clubhouse. And then tomorrow I'll be ready to pitch. And so then I did that. The next day I got in. And I was like a little nervous on the jog into the mound.
Sure.
Because it was like a 2-1 ball game. And I'm like, sitting in the bullpen like, okay, well, it's not gonna be me. It's my first day here, second day here. They're not gonna put me in a tight game, a team that's trying to make playoffs. And the phone rang and he said Anderson, and I was like, holy crap, I haven't stretched or like anything. So I was a little nervous. I warmed up and then a little nervous jogging into the mound. But my brothers came down to the bullpen when I was warming up, and they were cheering me on. So it was kind of like, that kind of helped relax me a little bit. And I got on the mound and I was warming up, and I'm like, oh my God, I have no idea where this ball is going when it leaves my hand. And I fell behind, I think like 3-0 on the first guy, or maybe 2-0. And then when I threw my first strike, I was like, okay, this is normal. This is just everyday baseball. And then it ended up being great. I think I struck out like 7 out of 8 hitters I faced, and
wow,
that was it. It was just, after that, it was kind of surreal for me, because when you come from like a smaller area, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, you kind of start to think about your odds when you're playing. Because I almost retired that year, actually. They sent me down from AAA to back to AA again for like the 3rd time.
Sure.
And I was like, man, I told my wife, I was like, man, I think this is it for me. I think I'm gonna, 25 is not old in like regular world, but to be 25-year-old, third year in AA, and you're like, you start to think like, dang, man, it's probably not gonna work out. Mm-hmm. And she was pregnant with my son. Minor leaguers make zero money now. Now they make much better money than they did when I started. When I started, we were getting like $600 every 2 weeks, basically. Okay. So I'm like, dang, I don't have no savings. I have no like home. I don't have nowhere to put this child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was like,
a big boy job. Stop playing around.
Yeah, kind of. And to me, it's like a lot of people think that like you're playing ball. It's like we're just out here to have fun. Yeah. Whatever. But like it's as an actual job.
Yeah,
to me, and to me, I know I've had several people who think they know better. We're like, oh, you need to get a real job, blah, blah. This is a real, if I make it to the major leagues, the amount of money that I just made in a week is more than half people make in 6 months. You know what I mean? And to me, it was never really about the money. It was just about, I wanted to prove that I was one of the best to play the game. But if you get to the top, if you get to AAA, you're already in the 1% of baseball players in the world. Yeah. And if you get to the major leagues, you're in an even lower percentage than that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I wanted to prove that I was the best. And my parents always told us, if you're not gonna play unless you want to be the best at it, sure. Or if you're gonna compete to be the best. And but then reality kind of hit where I'm like, I need to make a little more money, because that was like the first year they actually started paying us more money. Sure. But AA, I think, was like, you're making like $30,000 a year. Yeah. Which is still tough. Yeah. In today's economy for sure. But I was like, talking to her, and I give my wife a ton of credit, because she was like, no. She was like, I'm not gonna have this baby and him never see you play ball. She's like, you can't give up now. Like, you've literally made it to AAA twice. They're gonna give you a chance. You just gotta keep going. So her and my twin and my parents, they really were like, hey, don't, because I already had I had an interview with the railroad company back home in Beaumont. They were like a job, like I think it's like a rail car mechanic assistant was making like $37 an hour or something like that. So I was like, that's a lot more money than I'm making right now. Yeah. And I didn't have my degree, so I all I ever worked in the off season was blue collar jobs anyway. So I was like, I know how to work with my hands, so I might as well give that a shot. And she was just like, no, you're not. We're not giving up yet. You know, you gotta make it first before I allow you to give up, because my son's gonna watch you play. So I'm extremely blessed that she did that, and she's been with me since day one. So
yeah.
You know, I'm just extremely thankful and blessed for my family to stick with me to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not going to give up on you, you can't give up on you.
Right, yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Brewers are definitely glad that you didn't give up, because it seems like this year has been quite the resurgence from last year not being your best year in the league. Huh?
Yeah, last year was terrible. Yeah, man, I mean, the Brewers, they know the pitching side of baseball maybe better than any team in baseball. So
Sure.
From the second they called me, they basically were like, hey, these are the things that we think. If we can get this pitch a little better and we can throw the ball in these like certain locations, we think that, you know, your numbers will be, you know, some of the best in the league. And they were pretty spot on. I mean, I just basically listened to them the best I could, and worked on the pitch when in spring training that they were trying to get me to throw better, like a new grip and everything. And once I figured it out, they were like, okay, well, now that you've got it shaped correctly, we're gonna throw it here and here, and then throw these other pitches in these spots, and everything's gonna work out. And for me, it's kind of hard. I've always been like I need to see it, proof
Sure.
of it working first,
For you to like believe in it.
right? Because like you just show me something on a screen,
Mm-hmm.
numbers or a sheet of paper, and I'm like, yeah, well, this thing could say that I'm, you know, the king of England, and
Yeah.
that's not true. You know what I mean? But
Sure.
my wife was like, look what they did for the rest of the guys here, because basically what they did for me is how the whole bullpen, except for two guys in the bullpen were drafted by the Brewers,
Yeah.
or signed. One of them was signed international, and they came up through the Brewers system. The rest of us were like, you know, this team released them, and then they traded them to the Brewers, and then this team would release this guy, and they signed him to a free agent minor league contract or whatever.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing for everybody. So she was like, I mean, looking around what they did, I would just listen to them and do whatever they tell you to do. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'll do that. You know what I mean? Because like I've done that before, like minor leagues, like listened to a coach wholeheartedly, just did whatever he said, and it was like
Didn't work out.
dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it was just like, you try to be coachable, but there comes to a point where you gotta kind of like understand, like, not every coach is gonna have the answer to what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. Well, you're the only one who knows your body 100% and your skill set, because you've lived
Yeah.
it and played it this whole time. They're trying to coach however many players, and the snapshot
Correct, yeah.
of you is this small.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, like, because it's very data driven in professional baseball.
Ever since the movie Moneyball.
When that movie was taking place,
Right,
like the
yeah.
2001 era, you know, but like everything is kind of more driven on like, okay, the numbers say if you take this pitch from moving this way to this way and you get more movement, whatever,
Yeah.
it'll work better. And I think like one year they were trying to get me to do kind of the opposite of what the Brewers wanted me to do. This when I was in the minor leagues a long time ago, and that's one of the ones I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just do it because you told me to do it. But then when I look back at it, I'm like, now that I understand the numbers better, I'm like, that makes zero sense to ever do that. You know what I mean? It was just one of those things. But like, then you meet guys that are genuine coaches that are like, they'll kind of realize, okay, this is wrong. Let's try something else. They'll just keep working with you until you figure it out. And then you come here where they kind of like basically already had the answer ahead of time. They were like, look, we've studied everything you've thrown. This is how we think it's. We've gone through so many different, you know, variables of what shape could be used and blah blah. And then this is what we came out with. This is what we want you to use. Just you know, stick with us. Give us a try. You know, like look at our track record. And my wife was like, look at the track record. So I did it, and it's worked out for me, man. It's been great.
Was it working kind of right away at the beginning of the season, or did it take a minute to kind of find the groove?
Well, for me, it was spring training, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, like, spring training was rough because I'm trying to learn it, and, like, it's one day it's moving a ton, one day it's moving a little bit. So by the end of camp, I kind of got it consistent, and that was kind of the key. We need to get to a consistent size, same size every time. And once I did that, I went out to start the season, and started the season. You still get like the
jitters.
Yeah, like early season jitters. Like you get back, you're like, okay, I want to be perfect, and you kind of like move around a little bit. But after the first couple of weeks, it's been money ever since.
Did you have a feeling when you were in spring camp that like this team is gonna be the best in the league?
No, honestly, I didn't. But I will say I liked the environment. You know what I mean? Like coming from a team in Texas, where everybody's older. Everybody was like 10 years in. They're all, they kind of know exactly what they're doing. They have their own routines and everything. It was different when I come here where everybody's the same age.
Sure.
So it was like I'm not playing with guys that are 10, 12 years older than me. I'm playing with guys that I'm like one of the older guys here.
Sure.
And everybody was very welcoming. Everybody's friendly. We all obviously like, hey, what are you playing on the PlayStation? You know what I mean? Stuff like that,
Yeah. Just more.
There is less guys with kids, so that's kind of different. But everybody was, like I said, super welcoming. It's like it's like you get here and you feel like you've been playing with these guys since like travel ball, like when you were 12.
Sure.
Which is rare in professional baseball, especially in a team like this where I would say probably over half the team started off with a different organization and got traded there, or DFA'd and claimed or whatever. So it's been fun. You never know if you're gonna win. It's because it's the major leagues and everybody's good. Yeah. So you never know how it's gonna work out. But I could tell the environment was suitable for winning games.
Do you think this is the team that just personally has the most fun?
Probably. I think we're probably one of the teams that has the most fun playing the game, actually. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's because we're younger than most teams or we're less experienced, I guess, maybe.
Not jaded yet?
Yeah, but, it's in a 162 game season, it starts to wear on you. It's, after a while, it's a long season, a lot of travel. You miss birthday parties and stuff like that, and it can be like kind of show up on the field sometimes. We're like, oh, it's August, like, dang, man, like, tired, I need a couple days off, need a break, blah blah. But this team, it's like every day we can go down like 7-0 in the first inning, and somehow you look up in the ninth and it's 7-7, or we're up 8-7, and it's like, who else is doing this? You know what I mean? Because in professional baseball, and I remember I told a guy this myself in AAA one time. I think we were down like 10-0, and we had a young guy come up, and he was like, "Oh, you think we're coming back?" And I was like, in professional baseball, you go down by this much, you kind of cede the day to the other team, say, okay,
sure,
you can take this one. You know what I mean? Because it's, one, you're in professional baseball, it's everybody's good. It's kind of hard to score 10 on somebody when you're down 10-0. But this team is like, no chance. I'm scoring 10. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and they kind of play with that like a Little League World Series is on right now. Kind of have like the same excitement about playing every day.
Yeah.
Whereas like I said, coming from a team where you have a lot of older guys, veterans, it's not every day that it's excited to show up and play all night and grind, and I love it though, because that's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like the purest form of baseball, where we're gonna bunt, we're gonna steal, we're gonna hit and run, we're gonna play great defense, we're not gonna strike out, and that's how the game should be played in reality.
And I think great people are just like delusionally optimistic in themselves as well, right?
100%, you have to be. But to me, that's every major leaguer to get to the major leagues has to be delusionally optimistic, basically. You know what I mean? Because like I said, even myself, I'm wanting to give up. You still have to believe. If you're gonna stay and play, you got to believe that you're one of the best to play the game. Otherwise, if you don't, you're not going to get there.
Well, people believe in you guys now, and this is going to be the year that the Brewers finally win a championship. I can feel it. I'm going to have to put money on it after talking to you. What is your favorite memory so far being a member of the Brewers? It could be in a game, like if there's a certain situation. It could be just something with the guys traveling. What's your favorite
so
memory?
Much. We have a good time in the bullpen. Favorite memory, man, I don't know because it's literally so many. But like the other day we played the Mets at home, and Isaac Collins hit a walk-off in the 9th inning after we came back from I think we went down 6-1 in the first couple innings.
Yeah.
And we fought and scratched and we tied it, and then we get to the 9th and they had Edwin Diaz, who's like a perennial all-star, one of the best closers in baseball. And he gets into I think he had a 1-2 count or something like that, 2-1 count maybe. And he gets a slider and hits a home run to right field, and it erupted in that place.
Fly ball to deep right. It is back. Soto back. Out of here! Isaac Collins walks it off against the Mets.
I was warming up to go in because if we were going to extra innings, I was going in. And to see the ball go in the air, and you're like, it was one of those things where it is in the air, and everybody's like, does it have enough to get out? And when it goes over, it was, pandemonium. It was also, I can't remember the same series actually. The first game of that series, tied again also, or we're up 1 in the 9th, and they had a guy on second base, 1 out. They hit 2 outs. They hit a single to center field. And Blake Perkins comes up and throws the guy out at home plate to end the game. And it was even maybe louder than the walk-off home run.
McNeil 1 for 3. And McNeil into center field, a base hit. Perkins throw to the plate on a hop.
But that series is probably my favorite moments of this season, just because of how we went down every game that series and came back and won all 3 of them. Against one of the best teams in baseball. The Mets are, great team, great players.
Not as good as the Brewers.
and to come back and beat them was pretty sick.
What other goals do you have for the season or in general for your career? I thought I heard another interview you saying that you're not really interested in being a starter, or maybe I heard that wrong. Do you like being a relief pitcher?
No, yeah, I like being a reliever.
Do you want to be a starter?
Well, it doesn't matter if I want to or not. It's not going to happen.
Sure.
You kind of, to be a starter, you kind of have to come up through the minors as a starter.
Sure.
And get that opportunity in the majors. I was been a reliever since college, so I never had a,
sure.
I don't know how I want to be a starter. Not that, if somebody was like, hey, we need you to start, I would do it, but I also just don't fit that mold. I'm a sidearm guy.
You want your arm to last longer?
No, not even that. It's just sidearmers typically aren't going to be starters, just because the nature of they're kind of like a specialist, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I just never had the urge to want to do it or not. You know what I mean? Relieving is fun. It's like I think you get a higher adrenaline rush out of being a reliever than you do a starter, because you're going to come in, 7th inning, bases loaded, 1 out, and to get out of that is pretty
you have more
thrilling.
Pressure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like maybe like the pressure might be higher, but the release, if you surpass that, if you get through that, is like unbelievable. You know what I mean? It's like one of the best. I can't even compare it to anything. One of the best adrenaline rushes you can get deer hunting. If you kill like a big like a monster buck, you know what I mean? Sure. I don't know if you ever hunted or not, but
I did, yeah.
But when you kill your, like, especially if you're young, like you kill your first buck as like a kid. I killed when I was a teenager. Yeah. I had only does up until that point, but when you kill it, you're like, you got like the shakes, and you're like, oh my god, like I got him. You know what I mean? Sure. Or if some people fishing, they get excited when they catch a huge fish or whatever. It's kind of similar, but nothing really beats that feeling of like, I came in bases loaded and I struck out 2 guys in the inning, and that saved the day or whatever. But it's pretty it's pretty exciting. So I think you might get that in situations as a starter sometimes, but I think you get it more often as a reliever.
So
to me, it makes it more fun.
How does the contract work? Did you sign just like a 1-year thing, and you're playing to hopefully sign a bigger, longer contract?
No, I'm
by
on
the end of the season?
when you get called up to the major leagues, you have like a 6-year minor league contract that you sign, or major league contract, rookie deal.
Sure.
That you sign, that every rookie signs it. So it's like,
and you have to. It'll be that contract no matter how you play or everything.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's. I mean, you can sign like, sometimes they'll offer you like an extension.
Yeah.
And that'll be the contract. Like like I think like Jackson Churio signed like an 8-year.
Sure.
Whatever, $90 million, whatever. I don't know what it is. I don't know exactly what his deal is, but they'll just give you an extension for more money.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's kind of like your deal. But if most rookies will stay on that for the first 6 years, and then you have 3 years of arbitration. So after your first 3 seasons, you can go to arbitration and settle with the team on like a little more money per year. Sometimes it's a lot more depending on how good the player is.
Yeah.
But
so we can expect you here for at least 6 seasons.
Well, I'm on my 3rd year now, so
sure.
3 more. At
So
least
get your
at least
jerseys
3
now.
more. At least 3 more seasons.
Get your jerseys now, because after they win the World Series, he's going to sign a huge contract elsewhere.
I'll still have to be here for 3 more at least. So.
Sure. All right. Well, let me give you a couple little gifts quick. The coffee in front of you. I don't know if you like fancy coffee, but that's from Minimum Wage Tim's in Minneapolis. That's a buddy of mine. So that bag of coffee's for you. And then you get to pick out one of these coffee mugs as well.
You need a new coffee mug. I just had to throw one away. I think I like this one right here.
Perfect. All yours.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for welcoming me into your temporary place of living.
Yeah,
I mean,
thanks.
regardless of how long that you'll be here.
No problem.
But this is really cool, and best of luck with the rest of the season. And if you guys are in the World Series, I will absolutely watch every game.
Awesome.
That's how much of a fair weather fan I have to be, unfortunately. How best can people support you moving forward? Can they buy your jerseys and stuff online? Should people go follow you on the social media? I know you're not real active on there, but
you can follow me on social media. Grant A2 is my handle on Instagram. I also have a hunting business, Coon Branch Outdoors. You can go there on Instagram. I think it's coonbranch.outdoors.
Is that like a guide business, or what is it?
No, it's like apparel, like hats and stuff like that.
Cool.
And then I also have the website. You can go to coonbranchoutdoors.com. Other than that, I mean, I don't know if they sell my jersey online. Relievers are kind of like the O-line of baseball.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about them when they're good. When they suck, everybody hates them. So I don't know if they have them in
Sure.
I don't know if they have them online or not, but you can go to the field and get one if you want. But
people can hold up tag board that says "Marry Me, Grant," and everyone will know.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of The Passion Pod. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We'll see you soon.